Hey there. Happy Free Your Mind Friday. Free your thoughts, free your mind, free your inhibitions. Let everything be free. As free as possible. Down the hill we go. Heel toe, heel, feet and toes. Heels, feet and toes. One step in front of the other. And we can still talk, right? Made it down. Made it down. In a few seconds, we gotta go back up. We gotta go back up. Guys, if you come across this live or the replay, please do not do anything that you see me do or hear me say. If you do so at your own risk. Always contact your primary health care provider, your nurse practitioner, or your physician's assistant, your specialty doctor, your dietitian, your nutritionist, your psychologist, your psychiatrist, your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, your fitness coach, all right, your personal trainer. Before starting stopping, restarting, ending any exercise plan, routine, regimen, or schedule. So we give the professional disclaimer each and every time. So hopefully we're good. You never know who comes across your videos and what they may be feeling. Almost up. Almost up. Up here. You gotta push. You gotta keep moving. Sometimes you gotta pull. The hills, the pavement. Just keep moving those legs. Keep moving those legs and feet. Look at the legs and feet move. Keep moving. Keep pushing. Keep pressing forward. Keep striving. Keep heading towards your goals. And keep those legs moving. Move them with a purpose. Move them with a purpose. Walking and talking is good for many reasons, but the most important part is the walking, the movement. Work your body, work your body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. Work your body, work your body. Don't overexert your body. Thank you for being here. Hey, Ruthie. How you doing, Ruthie? Thank you for being here because I don't do many uploads. We go live almost every day over here in the Pride to walk and encourage you to continue to do the things that you need to do that are beneficial for your physical health, your mental health, and whatever goals you have. So I'm mostly a shorts channel. We don't do a lot of uploads. But I have been saying for the past couple of months that I'm going to have to start. And now that I'm working on a different project, I really am going to have to start. But we're going to continue to try to go live every day on this platform over here. We're going to try. We miss a day or two during the week, most weeks. But we're going to try to keep moving, not just with your body, with your goals, with your plans. Keep moving, keep pushing, and when you need to, keep pulling, keep striving, keep grooving, keep cruising. All right? One step in front of the other, one step at a time. Doesn't matter how many steps. The goal is to get up and move. Move those legs. Look at the legs move. Look at the feet. Move those arms. Put some pep in your step. Work that waist. Switch at those hips. And remember, resistance weight training, 3 to 4 days a week. I'm good, Ruthie. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. I'm hoping these mosquitoes don't bother me today. I put on some repellent, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I started out, it was raining. But I have a phone cover. You know, last year I talked about getting a phone cover, and I have one, but it's still hard to maneuver. Like, it doesn't get wet, but when I want to switch something up or change something up, it's so thick. I have to get a thinner one. It's so thick. It's hard to do. It's not hard to do the right thing, but you'll push something and it may, the thing that you're trying to hit, you may hit it and then you may hit something else, if you know what I mean. Like, I think because of the thickness, it makes it hard to hit the button that you want to hit sometimes. But it's really good at shielding the rain. So we're just moving, walking. moving and grooving, moving and cruising. As always, we keep moving. Listen to the birds sing, y'all. Listen to the birds. Listen as they sing. We can walk and talk. We can sing and talk. We can do whichever. Whatever you feel like. Look at those fireflies. Look at those fireflies. As soon as I start to show them to y'all, they're going to stop. There was one right there. Y'all saw that one? As soon as you try to catch them, they stop. It's like they're all around me. There's one right, look at there, right there. I don't know if he was attracted to the light on the phone, but yeah, it's that time. You got the fireflies out. Some people call them lightning bugs. Some people call them lightning bugs. But they're really nice. They're really nice. Yes, those birds are singing. It's like 9:10. The birds are singing, and we know why the free birds sing. Just like we know why the cage bird sings, right? I love listening to the birds. Every day we say, listen to the birds sing, listen to them talk, listen to them converse, listen to them communicate with each other. Birds and other animals communicate a lot of times more effectively than humans. More effectively than humans. So we're moving with a purpose. I think I did, I was supposed to do like 30 minutes yesterday because I ran and did a quick walk from work. Had to go back, but I ended up still doing almost an hour. So today is Friday. We're getting out of here today. We're going to get out of here today. Ruth says, I love listening to the birds in the morning. Oh, yes. Listen, in the morning time, there's something about them in the morning. And I love them in the morning. I love listening to them in the evening, like this time of evening, night, rather. I love listening to them early in the morning. It's kind of like that natural wake up, that it's morning, that one of the wake up calls. It's morning. It's morning. It's like the birds are up. What do they say? The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. So it's nice listening to birds early in the morning. I like early in the morning, especially like before sunrise. And I like late in the evening. Late in the evening. So we move over here, and you got to remember to be consistent and be persistent about being consistent. We practice M&M over here. The M&Ms that we eat over here are called moderation and modification. Those are our M&Ms. Moderation and modification. Those are our M&Ms. That's our candy. All things in moderation, and many things we need modification. Okay? Whether you're eating, exercising, working, having fun. Moderation and modification. Make sure you get enough of it all. Not too much, not too little. Moderation. Moderation for one person may be different than another person's moderation. But make sure when it comes to those things like eating junk, things that aren't too healthy, those empty calories, we want to modify our diets. Look, you don't have to be a dieting person or to be on a special diet. Let your special diet be to just eat better. Right? You start there. Some people, I remember growing up, people would be on diets, and my family would be like, I'm gonna eat me something sweet at least once a day. Even when they were on their diets, they would eat something sweet once a day. And it makes sense. It makes sense because sometimes when you start to feel like you're depriving yourself, it makes it harder to reach your goal. So who said that you had to cut out all sweets? Just modify and remember moderation. Go for the natural sweets. The natural sweets. And even when you're going for the natural sweets, you should not overdo it. They're natural, but they're still sugar. It's still sugar. So, with exercises, with our diet, sometimes we have to modify, change up a little bit. I always use the example of a squat. If you know that your ankles, your knees, and your hips don't allow you to do a deep squat just yet, do a mini squat or do a baby squat. Hold on to a table, a chair, a sturdy chair, and do a mini squat. Squat with assistance, squat with support. Your lunges, you can even lunge with assistance, lunge with support. If you feel uncomfortable in any way, slow down and or stop. If you want to do 3 sets of 12 reps, but that kind of tires you, do 2 sets of 8 reps and build up to that. It's just about building up. Hey, Georgia girl. Hi, host and chat. Happy Friday. Hey, Georgia girl. I left you on for a while till I had to get out here and get this walk and talk in. You was having fun with that movie. Yeah, these movies are fun. I'm just so glad that we have options now other than cable. I mean, you have to have the internet or some type of service, but I'm just glad to have options other than just, cable, like the regular cable companies, because they rip you off. And at least with the streaming services, you decide how long you want to have it. If you can't afford it that month, you don't pay for it that month. I bet your bottom dollar that account's going to still be open, and they're going to send you notifications wanting you to come on back. But with cable, listen, you don't pay those bills, they cut it off. Oh, I wonder, did you go yet? Yeah, I've been going in the evenings, especially with summer fastly approaching. Usually in the summertime, in the spring and in the summer, I go late in the evening. So that's how I've been doing every day for the past few weeks. Late in the evening, let that sun go down. Listen, because, we need sunscreen. If we're going to be out in the sun, we need sunscreen. So I try my best, because I don't like putting it on. I try my best to wait until the sun goes down. Yep, Tubi is free. We got a couple of free services. And the streaming services, like everything else, of course, have gone up some. But I'll still deal with them. I prefer them to cable. Because you can choose the ones you want. And a lot of times you can get 2 or 3 streaming services for the price of cable. The whole price of cable. And then, like you said, you got Tubi and other things like that are free. What, Peacock? Is Peacock free? I can't remember. Y'all hear those birds? Listen to my birds. Listen to our birds. Listen, they're God's birds, but He knows they're His. We just claim them because we love the sound. We love the sound. Like Ruthie said, they sound so good early in the morning. And I promise y'all, early in the morning, especially before sunrise, and then late in the evening, early night like this, birds are so calming. They can be calming, but they can also be rejuvenating. They can be rejuvenating. Like I always tell y'all, animals, these birds are just chirping, singing, talking, conversing amongst themselves, each other, sending signals to each other. Animals communicate more effectively than humans. Okay? Humans tend to not be able to communicate effectively with each other. Not all humans, but you guys know how we are. We're the most advanced species, right? And it seems like we communicate. Some of us communicate well together, but some of us not so much. And I just look at the animals and I watch how they communicate, right? Whether they get along or not. Animal behavior, animal communication, sometimes it seems like it's more effective than human communication, human behavior. Listen to these birds, just knowing how smart they are, how all animals are like us, want to protect their young, take care of their families. Like you got a groundhog, she's got babies, she's gonna go and see to those babies, she's gonna go get some food, even raccoons. You know? Ruthie says peacock is free for some things. Okay, I use the free version unless there's a movie I want to watch. I will pay and then okay, and then change it. Ruthie says she'll pay and change it back. I couldn't remember because I don't watch Peacock a lot. I hear a lot about it, but I wasn't sure. I thought it was free. I know Tubi is, and there's another one that's free. I can't think of the name of it. I cannot think of the name of it. But honestly, now it's like the only thing that a lot of people want cable for. You got some people who still like cable, if they can get a good deal, but a lot of times cable is so repetitive. Cable is so repetitive. It's the same thing over and over. And then they want to charge you for each little channel almost. You're paying for cable, and then they have the premium channels that should just come along with the cost of cable. Those premium channels aren't offering that much. They're all we've already watched all of them basically. They're all pretty much reruns. So I don't like paying for reruns. I like having free reruns. And if I do have to pay for a rerun or a movie that's been out, Netflix is better to do that. Hulu, Amazon. Just get you a stick. Get you a stick. It doesn't have many things on Peacock. There's Freewee. Pluto. That's the one I was thinking of. Pluto. Pluto. Yep. Yeah, free reruns. I'm like, and cable, they're so crazy. With all this competition with the streaming services, you would think the cable would drop their prices, but nope. Nope. You would think that they would drop their prices. The only time you get a good deal with cable is when you threaten to leave, or they have like the amnesty program where somebody may have gotten their cable cut off years ago, or maybe even months ago, and they're trying to get people to come back. They may give you a deal, they may forgive your past bill or something like that to get you back. But they do that, they get you back, and within 6 months to a year, you're paying double again. It's crazy. Now, some people say that they have cable not really for cable, but for the internet. They say that the cable companies offer better internet. I do hear a lot of people say that. I do believe that. But just wait. These phone services, they're offering home internet too. So I think, what is it, T-Mobile? Does Verizon and AT&T, do they offer home internet? So they need the competition. They need the competition to make cable come down some. I'm gonna mute for a second, y'all. I'm back here near the music. Okay, I think I'm past it. How to do a slow jog past that music. I wish there was a way to run, but you can't really run with these phones. I mean, I'm sure they make some type of contraption for it, but it would be nerve-wracking to me. So I'm not wearing something around my neck or on my. You can wear something on your arm, but you can't see the chat. It's already enough that you gotta pay attention to your surrounding in the chat when you hold the phone. So not being able to see the chat on your arm, that's annoying. But if you put it on the inside of your arm, all they'll see is like your side. So we just walk and jog sometimes and hold it. I think I'm gonna do 30 minutes today. So we got traffic, so we're gonna lift these legs up, working those ankles, the Achilles tendons, those feet muscles, pulling up those knees, helping the hip flexors, work this lower body as traffic goes. We keep moving. We may be at a standstill, but we keep moving. All right, we keep moving. We're at a standstill, but we keep moving, waiting on this traffic. Now let's go. Let's go. Let me see if I can see some of y'all's comments. Because as y'all see, it's dark now. It's dark now. But I know the area. All we gotta do is say, yoo-hoo. How many miles you walk a day, Lines? Woo. Probably at least 10. At least 10. At least. Yep, at least 10. Because half of it I've done before I even come on the lives in the evening time. So that's why I tell people, don't focus on the number of steps. Focus on moving. Just you moving. Right? Keep those arms moving. Keep that waist moving. When you walk, put some pep in that step. Swivel those hips to help burn more calories. Swivel those hips. Watch the legs move. Look at my legs and feet move. Hopefully, y'all know I'm on this kick now. My job is not to motivate adults. I don't motivate anybody, okay? Because I found during motivation, people will start to cling on to you, okay? Harder than you want them to. So my goal is to motivate children and young adults, right? And for those older adults or more seasoned adults, I like to encourage you. I encourage you to continue to do the things that you're doing to improve your health and fitness, right? I feel like with motivation, I gotta help kind of pick them up, pull them up. And that's good. But I'd rather do that with kids, young adults, or adults who know me in real life, who I know they got my back, I got theirs. We get mad, we fuss and fight and argue, and we love hard, family and friends. We hold each other accountable. We tell each other what we want to hear, whether we want to hear it or not. Those are the people that I feel like it's my job to motivate. Because sometimes, listen, I say motivation and encouragement are synonymous. They're very similar. But when I think of motivation, I think of you got to almost pull them up out the chair, up off the couch. Of course, you can have verbal motivation, like we have motivational speakers, right? But when it comes to doing things like exercising, eating right, nobody can do that until they get that self-motivation. Nobody can do that until they get that self-motivation. So once you have motivated yourself, once you have received motivation from God, yourself, your healthcare team, and you get started, then my job is to encourage you to continue. Encourage you to continue. Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate that. Thank you, Georgia girl. Thank you so much. Because when I say I don't like to motivate adults, I've done that before. And on this app, it cannot be a good thing, okay? It cannot be a good thing. But in life, I don't care if it's your parents, your aunties, I don't care how old the person is. If you know them, you can reach out and touch them. You can call them at 2 or 3 in the morning. Those are the people that I seek to motivate. Other than that, if someone comes across this live, young people and children, those are the ones I specifically look to actually motivate. Because first you got to receive it from God. But when you're of a certain age, especially you're young, you're just figuring everything out. You're going to get to a point where you can motivate and encourage people as well. But sometimes you're just figuring everything out. Those are the ones that I would like to say I've motivated. Because I can't pick up no grown person, pull them up by the bootstraps, or shoelaces, and then push them. If they've made the decision to get that start and to do that, I can encourage them. And that's what I like to do. I got to ask what you think. Georgia girl, I think it's funny, but some of me, I think it's fake. Because the only reason he's mad is because it hurts his company. The only reason he's mad is because it hurts his companies. It hurts his pockets a little bit. You notice he hadn't said anything about being mad because people will lose their health insurance. He hadn't said anything about being mad because people will lose benefits. He hadn't said anything about being mad for any of the things that the federal government does to help people as far as housing requirements, SNAP requirements, Social Security, and stuff like that. Elon had, in all his ranting and raving, he hadn't said anything. I think they still two devils. He hadn't said anything about any of that, anything about helping the common person who doesn't have all that money. He's only mad because he feels like it's affecting his pocket. That bill is affecting his pocket. He hadn't said anything about how many people could potentially lose Medicare, have their Social Security affected, EBT. And see, people always want to talk about these people do need to get up and work. How do you know about every person's situation? How do you know that each and every person that you see living in the projects or assisted housing, governmental housing, how do you know that they can get out of that situation? I don't care how ratchet they act, because some people use that as an excuse. If they can act like that, they can do this. Listen, I don't care how they act. How do you know? Look at that frog, y'all. He gonna jump. Y'all see that frog? He been out here, man. Look at him. See? How do you know that they can get out of that situation? And at the end of the day, it's still about the children. A lot of those people have children. So are children supposed to be punished because of the actions of their parents? I've known people who could get out of assisted living. Some people, not assisted living, but assisted housing. Housing communities that receive government assistance. But every country in this world has a population of people within that country who needs assistance. Everybody can't be rich. And even if you work your butts off, sometimes you still fall short. And if you fall short and you meet the requirements to get assistance, what's wrong with that? Some people work their butts off. These jobs don't pay enough for you to sometimes live in a decent area, handle your children's school needs, financial school needs, their daily needs. So are your children supposed to suffer? You darn right. If I see somebody living in governmental housing, projects, apartments, whatever you want to call them, and their kids look dressed neatly, I don't have a problem with it. They can have on Nikes, they can have on whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's very few of them who are taking so much advantage of the government that if you took that from them, that they wouldn't suffer. So maybe they do get a little change here and there. Maybe they are doing hair on the side and getting money. You may have some with the braid and all this kind of stuff. They may be making so much money that they could probably pay their rent. But what else could they pay? They ain't braiding that much hair. You know, when they made one great braider, they made a few, right? So leave people Social Security. You talking about a Ponzi scheme. It wasn't a Ponzi scheme when it was coming out of people's checks. And they were saying that's what it's for. It wasn't a Ponzi scheme when they used it to pay for benefits to those who needed at the time, and they don't even know if they'll have enough left for other generations. Like right now, every 10 years or so, well, they talk about it every year. Every generation is living off of the Social Security of the current working generation. So the current working generation doesn't even know how much will be there, because they're going to have to depend on them cutting the generation under them. So all these wealthy, rich people, who a lot of them got wealthy off the backs of slaves, natives, poor Caucasians, a lot of these rich and wealthy people, if they didn't become an actor or an athlete or something like that, they grew off the backs of hard working class people. And to tell them that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, that's crazy as heck. That's why this little feud that they got going on, it's funny to me, because I know neither one of them up for no good. Neither one of them are up for any good. And then you got people, some of our people still talking about, well, both of them ain't no good, the Democrats or the Republicans. Well, that's what we got, though. Both of them may not be good. Hey, Larry, welcome to the live. Both of them may not be good. But I know which one of them is taken. I know they want to talk about what Biden did or didn't do, what Obama did or didn't do, what Clinton did or didn't do. Every president did or didn't do something that pissed you off or made you happy. Bush did, he was a Republican. Reagan did, he was a Republican. The first Bush did, he was a Republican. All of them did something you didn't agree with. Some of them went to war. Some of them thought the wars weren't necessary. Most of the times that was under a Republican. So you so mad that Democrats tend to want to help its people, the people in this country. But don't say a word when both parties, since we want to talk about both, don't say a word when both parties send money all across the world. You don't say a word when both parties send money all across the world. Or depending on who's in office, you make an excuse for it. But what I will say about Democrats and Republicans, Democrats will do some things, but Republicans make excuses for the bullshit they do. They do the ugliest, the nastiest, the dirtiest things. Like they got that man back, Garcia. They were supposed to have been got that man back. Lied like they couldn't. We have 3 branches of government. Okay? Executive, which is Dump. But so that Dump doesn't think he's a king, we have the legislative, which is our sorry Congress, who does nothing except for what he tells them to do. When he bends over, they say, how far to kiss? And we have the judicial. And at this point, the only thing that's got this country probably halfway functioning the way we would like is the judicial. Now, every ruling that they make, I'm not happy with. But there are some rulings that have kind of kept some things in check. Okay? Some rulings that have kind of kept some things in check. But the worst ruling they made is when they made it so that you couldn't hardly touch this nut job that's back in office. And then you had all these people who voted against their own best interest. I even see content creators talking about, yeah, they're going to have to work to get those stamps. What the hell difference does it make to you? You ain't rich. You're not paying it anyway. If you're not rich, you're not paying it anyway. Whatever it costs. You aren't paying any more or any less than everybody else. Everybody else's back is getting broken by this government, this system too. And what he's doing with that ugly bill is trying to keep everybody's back broken. Keep you under the table. Y'all know the image, right? The image of the people under the table. And all you got to do is flip it. Thank you, Georgia Girl, for saying hi to Larry. So you got all these people, especially the ones of color, Some of them finally coming around. Some of them talking about, oh, he helped me do this and he do that. And I'd be like, if you really do your research and study, the things that you think he allowed to happen were things that were already in place. So when he sent that letter out during the pandemic talking about your president sent you $2,000, y'all really believe that? Like, y'all really believe that? He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. But he got tired of our mouths. He got tired of, at that point during his first 2 years, they controlled everything. Republicans controlled, if he was the president, they controlled the House and Senate. His second 2 years, they didn't. So the second 2 years was when the pandemic happened. So you got people of color, oh, well, it wasn't until he did this, or when he said, get up and do this. You know, I thought about it, and I was like, he's right. Well, people been telling you to get your butt off your butt for years, decades. You just now decided that it worked when Trump told you to do it? That says something about you. That says something about you. Because he's just still laughing. He'll never know what it is to have to go in the grocery store and shop. He'll never know what it is to be in the line. And then, hey, how you doing? And then you don't have enough money and you got to do you put back the milk? Do you put back the diapers? Well, of course you're going to put back, if you old school, you might put back the milk. But since it's a baby, you might go ahead and keep the milk. You got kids and put back those diapers and learn how to use a homemade diaper. Okay? If you're old school. He'll never know that. So I just heard somebody say, well, because he was this, it just made me get up. So you didn't have the gusto, the push within yourself, the motivation to get up and do good until he told you to? One of the dumbest people ever? Probably the dumbest president to ever go grace the White House. Girl, come on now. Come on now. And then they get so mad when you call out the stupidity. So him and Trump into it, that ain't nothing but some fake mess, fake reality show, fake drama. Get rid of that Doge. Get rid of them Doge folks if you want me to think that they really into it. Because he came with the Doge people, right? Well, they just had a ruling today, then Doge have access to even more access to our information. Him and Trump into it. He's hell, I'll just say the leader, because that's what he does. The leader of Doge, Elon is. Why is Doge still up there in DC and wherever else they are, rambling through people's social security numbers and all kinds of stuff? So I just can't stand either one of them, Georgia girl. You know I can't stand you. I definitely can't stand Dump, and I can't stand Eli either with his old racist self. YouTube, free speech. Ha! Free speech. I know y'all King trying to shut down people. He don't want people to criticize him. Y'all know how, like, this is what really got me. People on in social media talk about, we got free speech. Trump wants us to have free speech. Yeah, till you talk about him. And if he can come up with a law to keep everybody from talking about him, then that law is going to be across the board. And if it just applies to him, then that's more of us having that king that we don't need, the king that we don't want. Okay? So, yeah, they don't like when you talk about him. And a lot of it is, it's not so much that they don't like when you talk about him. They feel like too many people talking about him draws too much attention. So I guess people are, when he said it'll be no more elections, people really thought he was playing. There's more than one way to skin a cat. If he gets everybody too scared to speak up, too afraid to defend people, like, you got people who want to sue the government who are they can't find a lawyer because a lot of law officers are afraid to sue the government. That's a king right there. So he get too many citizens and too many other, people with certain titles in the community in the United States too afraid to make certain moves. Next thing you know, we won't have an election. So that stuff with him and Elon, him and Ellen, just call him Ellen, because all of a sudden he want to cry now because of that bill, and he want to talk about taking control. If it wasn't for him, He wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have won the Congress. Well, keep talking, because all you're doing is telling what a lot of people feel anyway. Like you did some click, 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 click with that machinery. So keep talking. That's how I feel about them. They just two bozos putting on a show, having a TTN contest. Having a TTN contest. Larry, what you been doing? You off? I know you got to be off now. Y'all ready for the weekend? What plans do you have for the weekend? Whatever your plans are, make sure that you have plans to have a wonderful weekend. Okay? A spectacular weekend. Of course, I always tell you guys, whether you made time or not during the week, make sure that you make time during the weekend to pamper yourself a little bit. It doesn't always have to mean spending money, but pamper yourself. Okay, give yourself a pat on the back. Think about what happened during the week. Like tonight, don't take it all into your weekend. I know some stuff you may have to take into the weekend, but just think about some things that happen, some things that you can fix if you can. If you can't fix it, some things that you can improve. If you can't improve it, God's got it. God's got it. Yes, I'm off work for the weekend, see? So try to, all that stuff that happened to the weekend, that if you had a great week, then wonderful. Make sure that you have a wonderful weekend. If you had a wonderful week, carry that into the weekend. But if you had some stuff, somebody made you mad at work, because y'all know how we seem to be like, I always say, don't let bother people bother you. That's easy to say. I always say what? Easier said than done. But when somebody just really bothers you, you're gonna think about it either later that day or the next day. Just don't let it get you in a place where you're so mad that you can't take the time to enjoy the fact that whatever they did is over and done with now. You know, or at least it's the weekend. Let's get a break. Okay? Let's focus on making sure that we have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful upcoming week. And I know, especially like at work in certain organizations, things carry over week to week. That's all right. Do the best you can to get through it. Do the best you can to get through it. Right now, it's pouring rain right here. Really? I think a lot of people got rain today. I think Georgia girl was saying it was raining where she is. So if you have allergies, enjoy the rain, okay? The rain kind of clears them out for a little bit anyway. For a little bit. Once it starts to... The thing about rain and allergens, yes, we all look forward to the rain, especially if we have bad allergies. But the thing about it is, it'll clear them out for a little while, but then a few hours later, the rain itself causes the particles of the allergens to kind of disperse even more. So enjoy it for the short term, okay? Because when that rain starts to clear out, those particles gonna act up. All right? So don't let people bother you. And I know it's easier said than done, but just try to make sure that you can keep it in the road. Keep it in the road. Keep it mid-road, okay? Don't let people stress you out. And of course, if you find yourself in a misery lounge, a place where somebody's just getting on your nerves, a place where they're not happy, so they don't want you to be happy, they trick you now. They get you up in there. When they start to unzip those sheep's clothing and the wolves come out, grab your grip and go. Just leave. Get up out of there. All right? All right? Grab your grip and go. That's the same way. If they come into your personal space, your home, you won't allow that, right? Your platform, your church, your school, your community. If you're in the grocery store, somebody trying to disturb your peace, listen, it's not always a good thing to show that you're tough and you're not going to move. Sometimes you just don't want that person around you, and the best thing is for you to move. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we get so stuck in that, oh, I wish I would move. Y'all know that? In that zone. Listen, I've come to a point where I feel like that sometimes, but sometimes I'll be like, I better move. I better move. You don't even want to deal with it. You don't even want to deal with the foolishness. You don't even want to deal with the foolishness. So do everything that you can do to protect your peace, to keep your peace. Definitely to keep your peace. Don't even let it in. All right? Do everything that you can to keep your peace. Don't let the disruptions in. Don't let the chaos in. Don't let the havoc in. All right? Don't let it in. Don't let them in. So y'all know what time it is. Remember those R words. Release, relax, relate. Resolve the things you can. Relate to what you can. Replenish, refill. Get a refill this weekend. All right? Refill your heart, mind, body, and soul. Restore. Okay? Reevaluate some things. Remember who you are. Revisit some of the things that made you happy. And remember, the self, S-E-L-F, it's okay to be selfish sometimes, but self-love, self-commitment, self-motivation, self-determination, self-esteem, focus on those. And I wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. All right? And y'all know why. Without that peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. Wherever chaos and negativity live, it affects your ability to prosper. I want you guys to prosper to your fullest potential. I want to prosper to my fullest potential so that we can walk peacefully into our purpose. I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lions Pride original. If it's the Lord's will, maybe tomorrow. Or it may not be tomorrow. Maybe it'll be Sunday. You have to give these apps a break. You don't have to upload every day, go live every day. Bye, y'all.